The Skids are on tour at the moment. We're playing. Is anybody coming tonight?
Yeah.
No. Nobody? Okay. Yeah. Hi. Well, we're playing Barrowlands tonight with the Jam. The guys from the Jam, which is we've been on tour with them, which has been great. And people have been saying, "Why are you doing this tour from the Jam?" And it's because I'm in a rebuilding mode with the Skids. I've gone back to square one, ground zero, and started again with my dear friend Martin Metcalfe on guitar and Connor Whyte on the other guitar. And I've got to tell you, I have never been happier. It's great, and the band played brilliantly, and the songs are. It was the other day I was listening to Connor playing Out of Town, and it was the first time I've heard it played exactly like Stuart Adamson used to play it. It was incredible. So it's been quite a roller coaster of emotions with this new lineup. It's great, absolutely great. And obviously I've got Martin's beautiful voice next to me. I've not really had a good singer next to me since Stuart, because Stuart had a great voice. And I know I go on to tell the story often that it was a sad day when Stuart left the Skids, because we were at our peak. You know, the day that he left the Skids is when we played Hammersmith Odeon. And that was a kind of iconic gig, and then he decided to leave. And it was a sad day, because obviously Stuart never did anything with his life after that we could call musical. Okay, boom. And of course he did. He went on to much bigger and better things with the other band. But I think the Skids were a very different kind of proposition to what Big Country were. I think Big Country were essentially, if I'm allowed to say this, a rock band, and the Skids were, I think, were a wee bit more interesting than that, or we tried to be, you know, with our lyrics, which I was often accused of being a little bit obscure, but of course now they actually make a lot of sense. Although last night in Aberdeen, the whole audience sang the first line of Into the Valley and could sing la 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 a bit, and they couldn't sing the second line, which is betrothed and divine, but they just couldn't sing it. So obviously there are still problems with my words. Anyway, so I'm going to read a couple of little chapters from the book, if that doesn't bore the pants off you, and then we'll sing a couple of songs, I think. Yeah. Maybe Saints Are Coming. Maybe. Yeah. Is that possible? Yeah. Destination Dusseldorf from our new album, and maybe Martin could sing a song from the book, because the book's full of pop culture references, you know, so things like Echo and the Bunnymen, Lou Reed. What about Perfect Day by Lou Reed? We could do that, couldn't we?
We could give it a go, aye.
Oh, see what I mean? This is the new camaraderie that's in the band. Because when the people I worked with before, it would have to be REO Speedwagon or something. Okay, do I sound bitter? Anyway, so hi over there, you okay? Yeah? You look surprised. You look like you've come to the wrong place. What the hell's going on here? How are you both? You okay? Yeah, great. So would anybody like to ask anything? Because I want this to be quite this is an impromptu thing that Tony's arranged, and would anybody like to ask a question, you know, or anything? Yes, Janice.
Stephen was wanting to know what is written on the back of the t-shirt.
So well, Stephen should ask that, shouldn't he? Because he's standing right there. So on the back of my shirt, yes, it's Arabic for the very same as this. Free Palestine, yeah. So I bought this from some young kids who made it, and 50% of it goes to Medicare, and the 50% goes to the making of it. It's high quality. So the kids didn't make any money out of it, but they were doing it for the right reasons, and we support that. Skids were always a band that had values. You know, we were a band that, I mean, that kind of really hurt me that we were accused of some kind of fascist kind of undertone. I really hated that, because I was looking around me at the time. I remember the first band that ever played with us in England was a band called Warsaw, with a singer called Ian Curtis, and they became Joy Division, and they were really terrible. There was the Rosillos, the Skids, and Warsaw were like one of the worst bands I'd ever seen. They were so crap. And Ian went on to become a pal of mine, because we shared the same health condition of epilepsy. So we were bonded through the weirdest thing. And he features in the book quite highly, because I went to the first ever gig they did in Berlin at the Canticchino, this old cinema, and when they played their Joy Division, and it was pretty terrible sounds, and he thought it was terrible, but I thought it was pretty amazing. But they played with us as Warsaw, and you know, no one ever said anything to them about that name. Joy Division's a really dodgy name, and people in Germany didn't like that name at all for obvious reasons. Then New Order, you know, and of course, did you know that their booking agent at the time was called Final Solution? Did you know that? It's really awful, you know what I mean? Really shocking, and no one ever even questioned it. And then we did this sleeve, and people just went bananas. And the reason we used that sleeve is the album was really originally going to be called The Olympian after one of the tracks on it. And I found the poster when I was in Berlin of the old 1936 Olympian. I thought, that's great. And then some people reacted and misunderstood it, but we were never into any of that shit. Quite the opposite. So let's start with a song, shall we? I mean, the Skids would never have started playing again if it wasn't for U2 and Green Day doing a version of The Saints Are Coming. And I've got to say, it does hurt when you're playing it, and sometimes the younger people in the audience, and by that I mean people around 55, say, how come you're doing a U2 song? I go, what? Saints Are Coming I wrote in Dunfermline Library when I was 15, I think. I wrote those words. And they were written about, I had a lot of friends in that area. You know, are you mostly from the west of Scotland here today? Yeah. But we don't really have that horrible sectarian thing so much in the east. But a lot of my friends ended up joining the British Army, and you know, just because they couldn't get a job. My mother was Irish, so she wouldn't, at the time after Bloody Sunday, she would never have allowed me to join the British Army. But my friends did, and they were sent to Belfast, and they had a terrible, terrible time, and were really traumatised by it. So songs like Into the Valley and Saints Are Coming, Masquerade even, were all written about that. So they're all kind of quite personal songs in many ways. So The Saints Are Coming, it's amazing that one was the one that's, you know, if you think about it now, it's used by Southampton Football Club, the New Orleans Saints, St. Pauli in Hamburg use it, St. Mirren, I believe, use it here in the west of Scotland, and St. Johnstone use it in Perth. It's a much used song. The Boondock Saints use it in the movie, terrible version. The NFL use it at the moment. They use the U2 version, sadly. Yeah, it's incredible how that little song that you wrote in the library when you were kids suddenly becomes this kind of global thing. Never saw that coming. Anyway, this is The Saints Are Coming. Cried to my daddy on the telephone, how long now? Till the clouds come home and you come home, the land well. But the shadow still remains since your descent, your descent. The saints are coming, the saints are coming. It seems no matter how I try to realize there's no reply. The saints are coming, the saints are coming. Seems no matter how I try to realize there's no reply. Drowning sorrow flows into Blitzkrieg. How long now? Till the weather change condemns belief for stone cells. This pretend no God once had his day, once had his day. The saints are coming, the saints are coming. See no matter how I try to realize there's no reply. The saints are coming, the saints are coming. See no matter how I try to realize there's no reply. See no matter how I try to realize there's no reply. See no matter how I try to realize there's no reply. considering we haven't rehearsed or done that, it's not bad. Well done. Yeah, there's people leaving already. God, what a load of crap that was. Jesus Christ, Tony, if you charge them money, they want their money back. So I'm going to read you a little bit from the book, and I'm going to read a bit from the end, just to give you a sense of the atmosphere of the book. So essentially the story, this guy, Lang, who's obviously based on myself, falls madly in love with this girl. They live in Kreuzberg. And there's a lot of heroin going on in the area, a lot of drugs and a lot of messed up people. Still is, in fact, because I still have the same flat to this day where my son lives. So I still own it. I don't own it, so I rent it. So anyway, unfortunately the girlfriend has a miscarriage, so she goes into a kind of state of deep depression. And they start kind of floating around the city like vampires, and this chapter is called Vampires. The bar was playing psychedelic fur so loud no one could hear what was being said, but they all nodded along with the person shouting at them. Lang noticed a couple of Rizikio regulars kissing in the corner. Everything was normal, but somehow it all felt like a performance. Kreuzberg was the stage, and this new pop-up space was actually a ground floor apartment. The squatters had taken control of another building and turned it into some kind of artistic collective. Another one, thought Lang, that will be closed after a few weeks, maybe days. Caroline was sitting next to him, holding his hand. She had on her black Ray-Bans, and nobody could tell if her eyes were open or closed. They had said nothing to one another since they had left home. Vampires and voyeurs were everywhere. Kreuzberg's new nihilists drank, shouted, laughed, screamed, and watched the action taking place through the various rooms. Lang and Caroline were the only still and silent people in the building. The psychedelic furs growled on through their drones of sonic goth romance. It was sweet and fake, and an illusory dreamscape for disenchanted latecomers to punk. It wasn't bad, but it definitely wasn't good. It was music as a placeholder for the code breakers who were busy in their basements preparing something that demanded your attention rather than alerting you to the musical ennui of a new lost generation. The lovers walked through the crowded rooms playing the part of Bowie and Deneuve on a night out searching for prey. An artist had scrawled text-based art in blood as a preposterous attempt to reshape how we looked at words. It was the act that was the art. The artist should have filmed himself cutting, dripping and writing. The reality would have supplanted the illusion. And it was an illusion. A film set, scripted, rehearsed, produced and distributed as live action. Caroline and Lang were in a different zone to the wailing subculture surrounding them. It was as if they weren't really in the room. Two people playing a part in an attempt to be part of something again. Two floating vampires on a day trip to melancholia. There was no escape. This was no escape. It was what it had been since the wall went up. A prison on both sides. A maximum security ward for the socially divisive and the weak. Berlin as a youth-centred gulag. Nobody cared because nobody was listening. The only thing to do was sink. Let the quicksand consume you. Let the end begin. They left by the courtyard door at the rear of the building as a strobe light electrified the darkness. The frame-by-frame movement was engineered like a montage of still photography. Somewhere a dog growled, or was that still the psychedelic furs? They could no longer make anything out as it all sounded the same. They couldn't see because everything looked the same and the sense of smell had disappeared. Was it the opening or the end credits in this Berlin movie? The new arrivals in the city were enthralled. Lang and Caroline were now local folklore, the real deal. People watched them as if expecting them to stop and speak and show them the route to the city's secret places. An insider's guide. But they also loved the ambivalence and disinterest that were shown. Caroline and Lang had made an attempt to re-engage, but with what? It was clear the world they had been part of was over, gone. Faded into the theatre of memory. Well, thank you. A question from anybody? Come on. This is full of confident people with intelligence, I can tell. There's lots of people wearing glasses, so you look intelligent.
The Skids going to play for the next 50 years, Richard?
Are the Skids going to play for the next 50 years? Well, my dear friend, in spirit, yes, but probably not physically. I'm not sure how much longer my body can take, because I go on stage, as you'll see later, as a 16-year-old and leave a little bit older than that. At the very beginning of this, I don't know if you remember, in the old days I used to be able to do a backflip, and when I got a bit excited when we started doing this again, I went, holy fuck, let's do a backflip. And I tried it, and I took off, and sure enough I got to there, and then I landed very badly on my knee, because my centre of gravity over these 40 years has shifted. And I landed on my knee, and then of course people were just going, wow, he really did do a backflip, that old guy. And then they realised something was wrong as we went into the next song, and I was still on my knees and hadn't moved, so that's gone. But you know, I'm still enjoying myself. I think it's been revitalised by having Martin and Finn and Connor and Nick playing with me. So as soon as it's not fun, I'm out. You know, that's the thing. It's not about money, because we don't really make that much money from it. It's the fun part, and if the fun's not there, I'm gone. So as long as it's fun, I'm there. But thank you anyway. You want to ask a question?
I was thinking, how did you know that? I don't know. Are you still pals with Rusty Egan?
Am I still friends with Rusty Egan? And the answer to that is yes, unfortunately, yeah. Yeah, no, he's still in touch with me, and he's just released a book, I think. And
he's doing an album.
yeah, he's doing an album, yeah. And of course, it's the 45th anniversary of this, so we're going to go on tour in November. We used him when there was a Stuart Adamson kind of testimonial type thing we did in Barrowlands. He came and played drums on Yankee Dollar and completely fucked it up. And he's not fit. You know, he's yeah. Rusty and I used to share a room, and I used to stay with him in Steve Strange in London, and their flat, and that was difficult. And but you know, we had great fun together. But my father was a coal miner, and he was a big guy. My dad, he was like about 6 foot odds, and he was a big guy. Big coal miner's hands, but he was never physical with. It was 5 boys. He had 5 boys, and he never hit any of us. And he was always a decent guy. He really believed in the dream of socialism, and he had the one thing that you weren't allowed to do, and we all knew it was. He had a tin of biscuits when he came in from the night shift in the morning. Is you just didn't go near his tin of biscuits, and we all knew that, but we forgot to tell Rusty. And he came back from the night shift still filthy, you know, because these guys were working underground in really tight spaces, and Rusty had ate all these biscuits. And I remember, it's the first time I ever saw my father lose his temper. Poor Rusty chased him, yeah, for miles down the road. He was going to kill him for stealing a biscuit. He couldn't understand it. It was only a fucking biscuit. But no, anyway. So I had great times with Rusty, yeah, and I do like him. The problem with Rusty is he really talks a lot. He doesn't shut up, no, and it's just like wears you down. And there was one time when we were on tour, the first tour of the original tour of Deja Europa, and we pulled the bus over because he wanted to go to the loo in a lay-by, and we left him. We just left him. We did the show that night without a drummer because we couldn't take it anymore, and we just couldn't. And then somehow or other he found his way to us, but after the show was done, yeah. It's amazing. I mean, you know, he said a lot of bad things happen in his life too, of course. Yeah. So you know, you should always show some kind of sympathy and empathy to him. But yeah, no, I like him. I like him a lot. You know, yeah, he's been, and he was inspiring on Deja Europa. His drumming on it is phenomenal. Yeah, really, really good. It's actually, I'm really proud of that album. I think it's a cracking album. So I'm really looking forward to playing all of it in all of its glory in November. Right, so another song, do you think, Marty?
Yes, indeed.
Why don't you give us a song from the Perfect Day or something?
All right,
That would be
okay.
nice.
I haven't run through it, but I'll try.
Come on, you're a great artist.
This is a perfect day.
just a perfect day with sangria in the park. Then later when it gets dark, we go home. Such a perfect day, problems all left alone, weekenders on our own, it's such fun. Oh, it's such a perfect day, I'm glad I spent it with you. Oh, such a perfect day, you just keep me hanging on. You just keep me hanging on. Such a perfect day, feed animals in the zoo, and later a movie too, and then home. Just a perfect day, you made me forget myself. I thought I was someone else, someone good. Oh, it's such a perfect day, I'm glad I spent it with you. Oh, such a perfect day, you just keep me hanging on. You just keep me hanging on. You're going to reap just what you sow. You're going to reap just what you sow. You're going to reap just what you sow. You're going to reap just what you sow.
There's people outside, do they want to come in and join us?
Aye.
Come in, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Come in, come in, come in.
This is where the orgy is, through the back room there. You're obviously not here for this event. Tony Gawkins through there naked. That is a frightening thought. So I'm going to read another small chapter from the book, if that's okay, not too indulgent. And this is a kind of rather sad chapter after Lang has found his beautiful German girlfriend Caroline. She's committed suicide, and this is him just at that moment when everybody's left and you're left alone after such a terrible thing. So it's all based on the truth. It's called Forgive Me. What did he remember? A phone call, the police, questions, Caroline covered on the bed, her father talking to him on the phone, the body gone. His neighbour, Frau Kastner, asking him to drink water, tea, eat, no. And then more questions. But he could find no answers other than she was gone. So many people came in and out of the apartment. Frau Kastner was the last to leave. He watched her clean the blood from the bathroom, his nurse. Then she stripped away the bed sheets and the towels covered in blood. Stripped away the evidence, the story of them. Gone. And then he was alone. It was already dark outside. The apartment was lit from the street. Lang sat alone at the desk looking out onto the street. She was gone. But there she was, waving to him, smiling her gift of love's innocence, singing a sweet song for him, for them. She waved but didn't move, her yellow dress fluttering in the spring breeze. "Come on," she was singing, "come to me." But then other people appeared and she looked afraid and backed away into the cold-hearted shadows. Gone again. Is this how it will be, he thought. Is this how they might continue? Ghosts. The street was suddenly busy again. Spring was full of hope for some. "Come, come to me," she had sung, and the tune stayed with him. He refused to release it into the air. He wanted to hear it again, but the music had faded, and he was left with a piece of paper in his hands. It read, "Forgive me." He then chose to say the words aloud as if they might crack a secret code, reveal their true meaning. For surely, he thought, they must mean more than just "forgive me." It can't be just that. It must be more. He had wanted to know her story, hear her words tell him who she was and how she became the woman he loved, would always love. Should he pull the apartment apart in search of another note, the real one, the story, something that might reveal everything he had wanted to know, something that might help him understand what he should do next? Kreuzberg was silent again. It was as if a warm blanket had been put over the district and people had fallen asleep. Zudos 36 was content, happy that spring had arrived. All of the lights showered the street with a safe glow. Low voices were close, a cadence for the anxious, but they never appeared. Maybe someone had told them that Caroline had gone and Lang was lost. Maybe someone had told them how cruelty had won. Maybe someone had told them that love's beautiful music was finished. Caroline's Kreuzberg Sonata was an echo, distant and whispered. Lang knew the tune by heart, remembered the chords of their story. It was transcribed on his heart. He caught hold of the echo and brought it back, humming along as he watched and waited for daylight to come, hoping that he might still have something to live for. If he survived, he knew he would leave the apartment, leave Kreuzberg, leave Berlin, leave it all behind. "Forgive me," he whispered. Thank you. So for those latecomers, this is an impromptu thing that the great Tony Goggins arranged, and it's because I had about 20 copies left. Now it's gone up, because the last time I said this, I said I had 12 copies, but the audience has got bigger. I now have 20 copies. You might have forgotten I'm from Fife, of my new novel, and it is the last of it anyway, and that's the story of my life in Berlin when I was a kid. Just after the release of Days in Europa, and it's a kind of sweet love story which ends very, very badly. Anyway, so as I say, I've got 25 copies with me. So I'm hoping that you fine people will take a copy away with you and read it and let me know what you think about it. So we're going to do another song, I think, aren't we, boys? What should we do?
Destination.
Let's do Destination Dusseldorf. Yeah, so Martin and I worked together on a lot of different things. We first worked together, I made a movie called Newtown Killers, which Martin did the music for, which was a really great experience working with him. And I was a big fan of Filthy Tongues at the time, but of course I was also a fan of Goodbye Mr. Mackenzie, because like any reasonable person, thought Martin was beautiful, but Shirley was sexy. And so it was great to work with him, and we had a lot in common, and he did a great job for my movie. And then we started writing some songs together for the Skids album, Burning Cities. And I think, don't take this badly, the other songwriters on it, but the songs that I wrote with Martin are by far the best songs on the album by quite a long way. And then we went on to work on an album called Destination Dusseldorf, and it's been an incredible success for us. I mean, Burning Cities was a success, but Destination Dusseldorf, it's been amazing. You know, we did get to #1 in the album charts with that album, which is quite an achievement. and the songs on it, I think, are pretty good. So Tony, I believe, has got some of the limited edition vinyl here today, so you can grab it if you're interested.
CDs.
And CDs, okay. But I'm more interested in the 30 books that I've got with me. Yeah. Anyway, so this is the title track. Have we ever done this acoustically? I don't think we have, but we might have done. There's latecomers there. Do you want to come in, or do you want to fucking buy the guy in the shop? No, this is not Amsterdam, mate. He's not available. But if you buy a book, he is available.
All right.
Are you okay there? Okay, we're going to do a song if that's okay. You okay with that? Okay. This is Destination Düsseldorf. See the proof. Destination Düsseldorf, the Deutsche Volker Oberhof. Destination Düsseldorf, Destination Düsseldorf. Follow the Rhine, follow the Rhine. Station to station, full of elation. Follow the Rhine, follow the Rhine. Station to station, pride of the nation. Joseph Voice, what a choice. Destination Düsseldorf. Kraftwerk sing, Otto band. Destination Düsseldorf. Destination Düsseldorf. Follow the Rhine, follow the Rhine. Station to station, full of elation. Follow the Rhine, follow the Rhine. Station to station, pride of a nation. German girl with long black hair. Destination Düsseldorf. Stole my heart with a kiss. Destination Düsseldorf. Destination Düsseldorf. Follow the Rhine, follow the Rhine. Station to station, full of elation. Follow the Rhine, follow the Rhine. Station to station, pride of a nation. You're very kind. Sounds a lot of mess to me, but you know, we do these acoustic shows sometimes, and Martin, we do things that are pertinent to the book. You know, so it could be a song by the Bunnymen or a Lou Reed song like we did earlier, and still, people will go,
"Hey, this time, this time, this."
Yeah, exactly. People will ask for a fucking acoustic version of Albert Tatlock. You go like,
Why didn't you do that?
yeah, and at which point in time I offered the whole audience out into the car park. You know, it is one of those things. It was done as a joke, that song, and that was, we were doing a John Peel session, and we just ran out of songs, and I was mucking about on Stuart's guitar, and I came up with this mental mad riff, and started to use all these names from Crossroads and Coronation Street. as a joke, and then we put John Peel's name in it and Kenny Dalglish, who was our hero at the time. So we were like, okay, it was a joke. And then, of course, it was on the B-side of Into the Valley. And a lot of people preferred the B-side to the A-side. So often we go on stage now and it's the first thing that people ask for, and it's very, very frustrating. So I've just come to terms with it, and now we play it. We just play it because you have to do it, you know. And but I'm telling you, when you get the audience, it sounds like the Nuremberg rallies when they're shouting Albert Tatlock. It's quite scary out there.
Are you singing it today?
Tonight, you mean?
No.
Well, that's the point. I mean, how can you do that? Fuck it, let's do it, Mark. Come on. Come on. We can take the piss out of ourselves.
It is Tommy Stanley Shabby!
Oh my God, can we do it in the same key? Maybe I start, yeah. Does it even have a key?
I'm in normal tuning.
No, start again.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
It is Tommy Stanley Shabby!
Ina Sharples, Stanley Ogden, Hilda Ogden. Who do we want?
Albert Tatlock!
Who do we want?
Albert Tatlock!
Meg Mortimer, Sandy Richardson, David Hunter. Who do we want?
Albert Tatlock!
Who do we want?
Albert Tatlock!
Boris Johnson. What's a wanker? Liz Truss. Who do we want?
Albert Tatlock!
Who do we want?
Albert Tatlock!
Who do we want?
Albert Tatlock!
Who do we want? That was, I've got to say, that was absolutely, we were good. We were good. You were terrible. Yeah. I think we just had the piss taken out of us there, Mark.
I like that. Do you regret it?
Do I regret it? No. Anyway, time for a question. Do I regret it? There's a great question. Je ne regrette rien, monsieur. Yeah. Any other questions? Come on. Anything you want, within reason.
How much of a workout do you have to do before you go on tour?
How much of a workout do I...
To sustain all the dancing?
I am of an age, but I've kept myself fit, and I'm very lucky, or unlucky, should I say, because I have a health condition. I'm epileptic, so that prevented me from taking recreational drugs. Although everybody around me, both the Skids and in the Armoury show especially, were taking voluminous, copious amounts of drugs. And I was never interested in alcohol. Even though I made a movie called 16 Years of Alcohol, it was essentially about my oldest brother who was killed. So it wasn't about me. So I've been unlucky in one sense that I was born with a health condition, or I wasn't born with it, but I developed a health condition. But it kept me on the straight and narrow, so I never really drank. So I'm not interested in alcohol, which is really weird because we were in Aberdeen last night, if I'm allowed to tell you the story very quickly. And a guy said, "Oh, I love the show, big man. Is there any chance I could buy you a drink?" I said, "Well, I don't really drink, mate." He goes, "Do you want a half then?" Yeah, so I was like, okay. So it seems quite weird that people find it very difficult to understand that, you know, just... And it's actually really interesting with this manifestation of the Skids that none of us drink. And it's we are a little bit like a temperance society backstage, and it's quite nice because, you know, at the end of the day, you don't need that stuff to have a great time. You know, we have such a great time. It's a joy. But yes, I keep myself fit because I have to for doing that, yeah. I'll never be able to do a backflip ever again. I understand that because my centre of gravity has moved lower than the lower cheek of my arse. But so that's gone. But yeah, no, I'm still loving it. And like I say, I've probably got another year's worth of energy left in me to do this. So I'm going to be... We're off. We finished the show tonight. And we fly to London, and we're flying to Hong Kong to play in Hong Kong on Monday. And then we fly to Brisbane on Tuesday to play in Brisbane on Tuesday with no days off. So, you know, we're still behaving like we're 16. There's one of the things I say on stage, and then for those of you at the show, I will be saying it tonight. I go two songs in, and I go, my God, I walked on stage and I felt like I was 16. 2 songs later, and I am fucked. But it's just a great joy to do it, yeah. But that's a nice question. Thank you. Thanks for appealing to my narcissistic ego. That's great. So, you want to ask a question? You look really smart.
What do you do to keep fit?
What do I do to keep fit?
Apart from being
Oh my
sick?
God! Have you seen that? Yeah. Yeah, actually, there's a funny story attached to that because I was doing an interview with one of those afternoon TV people, and they said to me, "You were quite a feral kid. You were in a lot of trouble as a kid," and I was quite violent as a child, and I'm deeply embarrassed about it. And they said, "Well, you know, have you given that up?" I said, "Yeah, I've got 2 grown-up children. You know, I'm a responsible member of society." And I look back on those days of violence with deep shame and embarrassment. And they said, well, that's interesting because we were looking at you, the kind of thing that you like to get up to, and it says that one of your hobbies is you like to get out there and do a bit of rowing. And I went, what do you mean? He said, like that? I said, no, that's rowing. And that's the standard of journalism in Britain today. Yeah, so no. Yeah, a bit of rowing, no more fighting. I was in a lot of trouble as a kid. I think I had a difficult childhood, so I'm deeply ashamed of that now, but I was a bit of a kind of an animal. But that's how I got the job in the Skids, really, because I was different. I remember going to the audition to the band, and I was quite punkish because my older brother was educating me in different types of music. So I was playing, I was into MC5 and Stooges, you know, a lot of quite interesting stuff through my oldest brother, Captain Beefheart, for example, and you know, really odd avant-garde stuff. And my mates were all listening to either Slade or even worse, Genesis. You know, so you were already marked, and the way I dressed was quite punkish for that time. And so that's how I got the job, really, because I looked different, because I clearly couldn't and still can't sing, but had a bit of a personality that fronted a punk band perfectly. You know, so. That's how I got the job, because I think at the audition Bill Simpson said this guy can't sing or dance, and Stuart Adamson went, perfect, we've got the guy we're after. Right, one last song, do you think, yeah? What do you think? And then the 40 books that I've got here. No, I don't think there's very many, so please grab a copy of one. And who's coming to the show tonight? I've thought people are great. Good. So we're on at 8. But it's only a 45-minute set we do because we are the special guests, which really means we're the support band. But you know, we perform with great joy and happiness, so we don't really come across as a band who are the support band. So hope you enjoy it. Anyway, shall we finish? Well, let's try and do Into the Valley and see if we can mess that up. Try and do it in the same key, though, yeah.
Civilization's no virtue, but who can define? Soldiers go marching, those masses align. This disease is catching from victory to stone. Oh, land, sea, and sky, boy, man, and soldier, deceive them and puncture. Blinking stark eye, why so uncertain, this culture deceived? Prophesied brainwashed, tomorrow's the means. All system failing, the blackbirds are broke. Come on! Ahoy! Ahoy! Land, sea, and sky. Ahoy! Ahoy! Boy, man, and soldier. Ahoy! Ahoy! The sea down that puncture. Long may they die. la 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 la. Collector's dilemma, position and foul.
Come on!
Ahoy! Ahoy! Let's see the sky. Come on! Ahoy! Ahoy! Boy, man, and soldier. Ahoy! Ahoy! The sea down that puncture. Ahoy! Ahoy! Long may they die to the valley. Please show them divine. La 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 la. Into the valley, we should then go down. La 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 la. Into the valley.
So, thank you, and thank you for coming along. I actually only expected 2 or 3 people, that's why I only brought 3 books, but luckily the publishers have managed to get another 47 here. So, anyway, so I'm going to sign a few books if you'd like to buy one, and we're doing it, as I say, at a 5 price today, 15 quid rather than 20, so come and grab one if you can, yeah?
Yay.
Thank you.
Thank you.